What's going on, everyone? This is Corey with Xbox Tavern with another review. This week I'm taking a look at Transformers EarthSpark Expedition. So this is one of the latest games from Outright Games, and it is based on the Transformers EarthSpark TV show, I believe. This is an action-adventure game that takes you through several different hub worlds, if you will, and you have to go and complete different quests and tasks so that you can open up a layer to beat the boss, to move on to the next one, so on and so forth until you get to the end of the game. A couple of things to note. I don't know what the Transformers EarthSpark show is all about, but in this game, you play as Bumblebee, a fan favorite of the Transformers universe, I'm sure. However, that's all you get to play as. The other Transformers are there, and you do talk to some of them, but you are only playing Bumblebee. In expected Transformers fashion, you move about by either just running or transforming into a car. Whenever you are in the car mode, that is all you can do is drive. Anytime you get thrown into a cutscene or you need to pop out into combat, you automatically come back into your walking robot form, and you do that there. So the car is simply to get places quicker, although the way that it controls is a little less than satisfying. So while it is faster, you do get hung up on a lot of the geometry in the world. When you are upright, walking around, and you have combat as your main focus, you have a ranged shooting weapon, or you can use your fist and pump and bump the enemies that way. As you play the game and you get different currencies, like you pick up scrap and you get these other things from the quest that allow you to upgrade yourself. You can add different combos into your combo lineup that transform you into a car mid-battle or send you through a fury of punches. Just different things to kind of visually make it look a little different. I couldn't tell that anything was better than the other. I'm just punching and punching and punching. Speaking of the upgrade system, while you can add combos to your lineup, you can also upgrade yourself in terms of your health or some of your abilities doing a little bit more than what they do when you get them. Things like that. So there is a small progression system in that capacity. Now, I mentioned roaming around these open world areas. That's where the majority of the games takes place, and you're going to be going to different bases and basically trying to shut them down. Each base was the same. You had to defeat 3 groups of enemies, and they kind of reappeared in different waves. Once you defeated them, you were able to take down a mini-boss, and once you did that, you were able to break some transformers or whatnot to open up a door, usually, or shut down the big boss that was in that base. And after you did that, a chunk of the bar at the top of the screen would move, saying you are this much closer to opening the final boss of this area. You didn't have to do everything in the open world area, but you pretty much had to do at least the main mini bases, if you will. Some of the things you'll notice as you play are ability gated. Defeating the main boss of each area, no surprise, it kind of gives you an ability. So there is some replayability to go back to other worlds and explore them a little bit further, because there's going to be collectibles in the world that you can get that are there just for kind of fluff purposes, but you can go back and explore them that way. The combat of the game is a lot of mashing. You're just going to be punching and dodging and punching and dodging. You do come across enemies with shields that you have to use your gun thing to get rid of the shield temporarily so you can hit them. But other than that, that's kind of the main gist of the combat. It's really just button mashy stuff going on. One of the moves you learn is a dodge. If you dodge at the perfect moment, which is usually the last second before you are hit, you'll kind of go into a slow-mo state, and well, actually your enemies go into a slow-mo state and you can just punch in regular speed. So that was pretty much every big boss battle I did, was find the timing to dodge, and then usually in 2 or 3 rounds of that, I was able to whittle down their health all the way. There's nothing too crazy going on about this game. It's pretty bland. I don't like the movement in the game, unfortunately, and that's where you spend a lot of your time is navigating this environment. First of all, the map looks great. However, I found myself referencing that map and trying to figure out where to go a lot. This game could benefit greatly from a mini-map on screen, or even a compass at the top that kind of had your different icons for your waypoints so you can kind of know where to go. I was stopping what I was doing, pausing the game, and checking the map way too often. That said, once you got to an area and you needed to do anything other than drive, in an open lane in your car form, you had to get out and you had to jump, and you got in your slow robot walking form. Like I said, the geometry of this game is kind of weird in places, so I would get caught on like a bush or something that was really to the side of me, but it felt like the hitboxes were a little off. Speaking of like that stuff being off, the camera is not great, especially when you're close up and your back is like to a mountain or something or building. It gets pretty crazy and it almost shakes the screen and kind of tears it a little bit. And it's just a little jarring to the eye. And that happened way more often than I would like for it to have happened. So yeah, overall, this game is really low on my scale of, you should play it if you like action adventure games. It would even almost be low on my scale if you liked Transformers games. I always have to base myself though with these games. Know the audience for them. This is going to be geared towards kids. You can see that in the art style, and it's obviously based off of the streaming show Transformers EarthSpark, where that is geared towards kids for sure. And so how does it feel to them? I think the kids would enjoy seeing the robots, and I think the difficulty would be suitable for them. Even on easy, I think it would be, a little challenging for them. But I would really not suggest it as, a first time like 3D open world platforming game. Those are hard to do in general, but this one just has some of its jankiness. It's there, and it is what it is. So overall, the game wasn't bad, but I didn't find myself itching to go back and play it super quick after finishing one session. So yeah, that will do it for me for Transformers EarthSpark Expedition. If you are not on XboxTavern.com, be sure to go there, check out my final score for the game, as well as our other reviews. Thank you Outright for providing a code for this review, and I will see you in the next one.